let's talk about Babygirl. The follow-up to Halina Reijn?
Ren.
Ren?
She's Dutch, so
Sorry.
I actually can say her name.
Good
Halina
for
Ren.
you. Good for you.
What
She
you
follows
mean
up her
good for
feature.
you? Oh man, this guy's just good for you.
Nah,
fuck
good
off.
for you, man. Good for you. I think it's great that you can speak
Good
Dutch.
boy, huh?
Yes, good boy. What did you say about this one? That it's like there's 2 movies this year where a woman turns into a dog at night, right?
There are 2 high-profile actresses that are pretending to be dogs, and Nicole Kidman is one of them in Babygirl.
Yeah, the other one's, by the way, Night Bitch.
Night Bitch,
Amy
Amy
Adams.
yeah.
Which already premiered at TIFF. We haven't seen it yet. But yeah, apparently it's better than the trailer. It's on to believe. But Bodies follow up. Babygirl here sees the pairing of Nicole Kidman and a very demanding Harrison Dickinson, who seems to know what he wants, be in a bit of an affair where she is the CEO of a company, comes in as an intern, and quickly there's some tension, some sexual tension between those two. And it evolves into what the Letterboxd synopsis says, a torrid affair. I don't know what torrid means, but it feels accurate. I don't know what it means, but it's just like it feels accurate. We got Antonia Banderas as her husband, Sophie Wilde as her really enthusiastic. I wouldn't say assistant, but she's probably like some fancy title that she has that she's working with her. An interesting cast here. I think the movie really moves at an interesting, compelling pace, and there's a bunch of sex scenes in it. What else is there to say, Kev? What else do we say about Babygirl? I had a great time with it.
I actually want to educate the audience by telling them what torrid means, and it means very hot and dry, which feels kind of wrong to apply because it takes place during Christmas at some point. There's a lot of snow. There's milk involved, so it doesn't really stay dry. And yeah,
It couldn't be further from dry.
Obviously, Nicole Kidman plays this very successful CEO and enters this sort of power dominatrix sort of affair. Nicole Kidman masturbates into this movie not even 5 minutes into this movie. Nicole Kidman masturbates after just having sex with Antonio Banderas, which is kind of insane. If you just have sex with Antonio Banderas, right? Well, that's a spoiler, bro. What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
It's just a spoiler. I saved you guys from a spoiler. So you better edit that last.
Okay.
Right. Also, very happy to see Sophie Wilde into this movie from last year's? No, 2 years ago. Talk to Me. Very, very happy she's in this movie as well. I honestly had a blast with this movie. It's in my top 10. It's my number 10 in my top 10. But it's absurd. It's thrilling, and honestly, the movie even gets a chuckle out of you a couple of times because of these weird things that Nicole Kidman and Harrison Dickinson consensually do to each other. And I honestly had a lot of fun with it. Also, some people saying this movie isn't erotic.
Bro, what the fuck did you... No, I feel like there's also a type of discussion around like sex in movies from younger people where there's like reports that people don't like it as much. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? The tension between like the command that Harrison Dickinson kind of puts onto her when, obviously she's in the CEO in the real world. She has a bit more power, but once they're in the bedroom, they switch it around. But she like
not even in the bedroom, just in general.
And and she kind of, is pushing up against that and has to let go, and maybe she doesn't want to, maybe that's too risky, and that part of it is all exciting. I think this is an incredibly erotic film. Really, really sexy in a good way, without like focusing so much on the judgment of obviously, like if it were gender swapped, then this would be maybe a completely different movie, although it doesn't really have to be. I think it still can be really interesting, and I think it doesn't go down a route that it feels like super expected or boring.
I
stays true to
literally
its core.
asked you because I didn't see it, but I actually is this like the best version of 50 Shades of Grey?
I've only seen the first one as well, but then I told you that like 50 Shades of Grey is very much different because it's a bit more that power fantasy of like a rich guy that embraces
yeah,
you.
but I'm telling you, if this
but
was
it's dangerous.
if this were the other way, right? So, as you say, like swapped, it is the best version of 50 Shades of Grey. It kind of is, right?
Yeah, it would be. Although I guess 50 Shades of Grey doesn't really have a connection to his company, so it's not as risky in that regard. But hey, there's sex in it and nudity, and I had a chuckle reading through my notes because like there's a lot of like sex terms that I wrote down. I was like, okay, yeah, that happened. There's a blowjob and squirting. There's a lot that goes on in this film, and I like that it goes for it, and Halina seems to be an interesting filmmaker to watch.
I just love the thought of you writing down those terms in a public theater.
I think at one point, this is a spoiler, so you have to bleep it. This is just for you, Kev. But I just like. It's one of my notes.
To the viewers, that is very funny what you just said. So yeah.
You also made a plea that they should get rid of the Sofia Coppola font for this one, right, on the poster.
Oh yeah, the Priscilla one. Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, they don't even use the same one in the movie. Just use the one in the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah. Babygirl can both recommend.
It's an A24 film. Released at the end of the year in the States, and then probably early next year internationally. Be on the lookout. Also a screening at the Zurich Film Festival if you are in that area. I don't know.
Good girl.